Okay, this is the first of the several video segments that I have for the solution of homework number 16. Now, number 16 is still from section 4.3, and because this is a relatively long section, we have two sets of problems, two homeworks. One was the 15, and this is the 16th that I'm posting. All right, so let's go ahead with number 6. Now, several of these initial problems, at least, already appeared in some form in homework 15, but it's being presented here as another review. Okay, so let's go ahead, and we are doing, let me see, uh, right, we are doing number 6. Number 6, and what it says is that suppose cosecant of x is equal to 4, and we know that tangent of x is negative. Find sine of 2x, cosine of 2x, and tangent of 2x. Okay, so if cosecant of x is equal to 4, that means that 1 over sine of x is 4, and that means that sine of x is 1 over 4. Okay, now cosine of x is plus or minus square root of 1 minus sine squared x. So it's plus or minus square root of 1 minus 1 over 16, and this is plus or minus root of 15 over 4. Now the question is, which algebraic sign do we take? Now notice that the fact that tangent of x is negative means that tan x negative means that sine x and cos x are opposite in sign, opposite in algebraic sign. And because sine of x is positive, cosine of x must be then negative root of 15 over 4. Now, this is not what I was asked to find. I was asked to find sine of 2x, for example. However, sine of 2x using the double angle formula is 2 sine of x cosine of x, and that means that it is equal to 2 sine of x 1 over 4, and cosine of x is negative root of 15 over 4, and this is minus root of 15 over 8. And cosine of 2x, well, we have different ways of doing this thing. Remember, there are 3 versions of this formula. One is cos squared x minus sine squared x. The other one is 2 cos squared x minus 1. And the other one is 1 minus 2 sine squared x. The choice is yours, which one you want to choose. It makes absolutely no difference. So why don't I use, I don't know, this middle one. Okay, so cosine of 2x equal to 2 minus root of 15 over 4, quantity squared, and a minus 1. So this is 2 times 15 over 16 minus 1, and this is 2 or 15 over 8 minus 1, and 15 over 8 minus 1, and this is 7 over 8. Okay, and finally tan of 2x. Well, the different ways of doing it, for example, you can write this is 2 tan of x over 1 minus tan squared x. But that means you have to find tan of x. The other way of doing it is to say, look, tan of x is sine of 2x over cosine of 2x. Okay, we found each of these individually. This is minus root of 15 over minus root of 15 over 8. It's right here. And cosine, we just did it right there. So it's 7 over 8. And unless I made an algebra error there, this is root of 15 over 7. Okay? So that takes care of this problem. Now let's go to the next one. The next one is a different kind of a problem, second box. Okay, let me make some blank pages here. Insert blank, insert blank. Okay, so which one am I doing? Number 13. And it says this expression cos squared x sine to the 4x. Use the formulas for lowering the power to rewrite the expression in terms of first powers of cosine as in example 4. So we want to lower the power to first power of cosine. All right, so let me write this thing down, cosine squared x. Now this thing, I can write it as sine squared x to the power 2. And let's take one more step. This is cosine squared x, and this is 1 minus sine squared x. Not sine squared. Okay, let me erase this. This is cosine. Cosine squared x to the power 2. Okay, now why did I do that? Because this, we can write it as, we know the formula for lowering the power. It is equal to, let me use a different color, 1 plus cosine of 2x divided by 2. That's what that thing is. And the other one, 1 minus, now let me replace that with what we just did, 1 plus cosine of 2x divided by 2 to the power 2. Okay, and now we proceed. We're going to do a little bit of a cleanup here. So 1 plus cosine of 2x, I'll leave this thing the way it is. And over here, I'm going to take a common denominator 2 and clean it up. And you're going to get 1 minus cosine of 2x to the power 2. Okay. Now we're going to have to do a little bit of cleanup. So first of all, the power 2 and this thing, let me take them out. So it's going to be, now remember, this 2, because there's a power 2 up there, it comes out as 1 over 4, 1 minus cosine of 2x to the power 2. And this one is going to leave it the way it is, cosine of 2x over 2. Okay, so these two are going to come out as 1/8 times 1 plus cosine of 2x times 1 minus cosine of 2x to the power 2. Okay, let us do a little bit of a cleanup here. So this is 1 over 8. 1 plus cosine of 2x. And if you FOIL this thing, you're going to get 1 minus 2 cosine of 2x plus cosine cosine squared of 2x. Okay. Well, let's proceed. 1 over 8. You FOIL this thing, 1 minus 2 cosine of 2x plus cosine squared 2x. And then you FOIL this. So plus cosine of 2x minus 2 cosine squared 2x and plus cosine cubed 2x. Okay? Now, these are okay except for a problem here, and that is the fact that, you see, uh, let's go ahead and work this out, clean it up first of all. So, see this one stays, and that and this, these two is going to give you minus cosine of 2x, and these two is going to give you minus cosine squared x, correct? Are we good? Okay, 2x, not x. Cosine squared 2x. Now this is going to stay, and I'm hoping that we can do something about it. It's not quite obvious right now, but let's find out. 1 over 8, no problem there. 1 minus cosine of 2x minus, now we know what formula to use to reduce the power of this. So it's going to be 1 plus cosine of 4x divided by 2. That is this term, okay? And then here, for now, I'm going to leave it the way it is, cosine cube 2x. I'm going to write it like this. Now, these two, I can factor cosine of 2x from it, and I'm going to get 1 minus cosine squared 2x. Okay? Are we good? Okay, and then this other one stays. This thing stays. Minus 1 plus cosine of 4x divided by 2. Okay, 1 over 8. 1 minus cosine of 2x. Now notice that this fellow is simply sine squared 2x. Okay? And then this other thing stays. Minus 1 plus cosine of 4x over 2. 1/8. 1 minus cosine of 2x. Now remember, we have a formula for reducing this using the double angle formula. So that's going to be 1 minus cosine of 2x, not 2x, of 4x over 2. Okay? Go to the inventory of your formulas for sine squared 2x, how it relates to cosine of 4x, okay? And then minus 1 plus cosine of 4x divided by 2. So this is 1 over 8. 1 minus 1/2. This thing times that, cosine of 2x, minus cosine of 2x times cosine of 4x. This thing times this. And then this last term, minus 1 plus cosine of 4x divided by 2. Now, there's no reason for me to go and algebraically clean this, because look at all the powers. All the powers of cosine are 1. We managed to do it. But it could be that the answer in the back of the book, they do a cleanup of this and finish the problem. This problem was more involved, and you can see that when these powers become bigger, even and bigger, there is more work involved. There's no doubt about it. So I'm going to stop this video segment here and move on to the other ones.